Welcome in my class. I am Dr.Dharmendra Gaur. Today basically we are discussing with the paper for mains examination. The main concern of this particular paper, you know very well, the anthropology as an optional. When you see the CSE mains optional anthropology, basically the paper 1 and paper 2, and paper 1 consists 12 units basically from the physical anthropology and the cultural anthropology, but the paper 2 has got 9 total units, which is basically the Indian anthropology and our custom, cultures and tribes, etc. So first of all, I would like to show the syllabus. Why? Because the syllabus is very important for our mains purpose. So see, in the anthropology paper 1, there are very vast syllabus, but when we can see the syllabus, it is a very simple process to adopt the things which is totally depend on our concept, and I will definitely give my best for this particular conceptual clarity is concerned. In my task series you can see my answers, and whenever you will join me, so definitely you will able to do the mains examinations and their answers, and it is my suggestion to you, please whenever you will read, please must read authentic book and reference and accurate from the government and their documentations. So please see the anthropology paper 1 has got the first unit. It is very important unit, and the questions will ask sometime meaning, scope and development of anthropology. Definitely when we see the meaning of the anthropology you know very well is a study of the human and their evolution also. So are the human everything, and the relationship with other disciplines like the social science, it means the relation of the anthropology with different discipline as far as the academic is concerned, you know very well, and the main branches of anthropology. So we will discuss the 4 branches of this particular subject as far as the social cultural anthropology, biological anthropology, it is basically the physiological anthropology or the physical anthropology, archaeological anthropology and the linguistic anthropology. These 4 branches is very important. So we will discuss their scopes and relevance of this particular segment. Okay. The next will be the human evolution and emergence of main. It means biological and their organic evolution and synthetic theory of the evolution will definitely discuss in this particular 1.4. The 1.5 units is basically the characteristic of the pyramids, evolutionary trends and the primate taxonomy we will discuss, and definitely it is a part of the physical anthropology. So that is why you must be know what is the basic concept of this particular concerned topic. Okay. The next will be the phylogenetic status, characteristics and geographical distribution of the following things like the pre-Pleistocene hominids. It means it is a human evolution where the Homo erectus, Neanderthal and different type of evolutionary men like the Cro-Magnon and Grimaldi and Cancellati, different type of from like the Ramapithecus, Javapithecus, Simapithecus, Australopithecus, Cro-Magnon and the Neanderthal, after then the Homo sapiens. And relation, it means the basic social anthropology, and anthropological theories we will discuss classical evolutionary theory like the Taylor, Morgan and Fraser. Historical particularism like the Bosch and British, German and American diffusions definitely we discuss. Functionalism and the structuralism and cultural and personality based things. The neo-evolutionary theories like the White, Stewart and salience and the service. And the cultural materialism, like the Harris theory, we will discuss all the things. And the unit number 7, it is basically related to the linguistic anthropology, cultural language and the communication. It is very important for our social anthropological, and with respect to Indian case study also we will discuss. And the research methodology, methods in anthropology, it is basically the anthropologist work. So definitely like the field work, tradition and in anthropology, and the direct question will definitely static portion are here. So that is why very important and must read material you may see from this particular unit. Okay, tools of data collections and different differentiation between the technique and method and the methodology. And the 9th unit we will discuss genetics. It means the human genetics, like methods and applications of this particular genetical principle is concerned. So the Mendel law and different type of methods like the pedigree analysis, twins study, foster child, co-twins method. So it is basically the contemporary physical anthropology like the human genetics we will discuss in the paper number 2. Okay, so this is the paper, and definitely different type of Mendelian, it means the Mendelism, it is basically the genetical things. So we will discuss genetics in main family study, single factors, multi-factors, lethal, sublethal and polygenic inheritance in men. So in this particular portion, like the physical anthropology, we will discuss the main concept in this particular genetic is concerned. Concept of the genetic polymorphism and the selections, Mendelian population and different type of things we will definitely discuss, and here the mutation and different type of question will ask directly. Okay, and another things of this particular genetical is concerned, the chromosomes and chromosomal abbreviation in man and methodology. It means numerical and structural abbreviation are ordered in disorder format. Okay, and sex chromosome abbreviations like Klinefelter syndrome and Turner syndrome, super female, intersex and other syndromic disorder we will discuss. And autosomal abbreviation like Down syndromes and Patau, Edward and Cre-du-Chat syndromes we will discuss. And in this particular unit we will definitely discuss the gene mapping and genome study like the human DNA profiling. Okay, the 9.5, it is the concern unit of the topic last 9, the race and races, biological basis of the morphological variations of non-metric and characteristic and characters, racial criteria, racial traits in relation to heredity and environment. So in this particular flap we will discuss the race and races, biological basis of the morphological discussion. Okay, and another we will discuss in this particular subtopic age, sex and population variations as genetic marker like the blood groups and RS factors, HLA, hemoglobins, HP, transforming GM blood, enzyme, physiological characteristic of the hemoglobin level, body fat, pulse rate, respiratory functions and sensory perceptions in different cultural and socio-economic groups. And in this particular concept is concerned 9.7, it is basically concept and method of the ecological anthropology. It is very important for every year for the mains examination. So we will discuss biocultural adaptation, genetics and non-genetic factors, mains physiological response to environmental stresses, hot deserts, cold, high and high altitude climate. It means what is the reciprocal biomes and different climate and different type of climatology will affect in this particular ecological anthropology. And the 9.8, it is basically epidemiological anthropology. It means the health and disease, infections and non-infectious disease and the nutritional deficiency related disease we will discuss in this particular daily life of this particular human is concerned. and the concept of the human growth and development, their stages and stages of growth, prenatal, natal, infant and childhood, adolescence, maturity and sentience. This is basically the concept where we can discuss, and we will take the growth and development for the different label. The biological and chronological longevity, human physics and somatotype methodology for growth studies. Aging, it is a very important question. Aging and census theories and observation. So we will discuss in this particular film. Okay. So I think this is the paper where we will discuss different type of things. Okay. And after all, SMS we will discuss the paper where we see the paper 2 is concerned. Okay. So the paper 2 is basically for the anthropology paper 2, basically 9 in it we will discuss, but here the 2 things, the theories parts and the case study part. Why? Because the Indian and experience and this particular Indian anthropology, like the Indian society and tribes, so we will discuss different type of case studies in this particular paper. So here we can discuss relevancy of the case study and the current scenario also we will discuss in the different type of unit. Okay. So I think this is very good presentations for your skill. Why? Because in this particular paper is concerned, you know very well, the paper like the paper 2, evolution of the Indian cultural and civilizations in a different type of era and period. So like the Harappan cultures, contribution of the tribal cultures of Indian civilization, and paleoanthropological evidence from India with special reference to the Shivalik, it means the Shivalik range in the Great Himalayas, Narmada basin. It means there are so many phenomena for the evolution's purpose. Ethno-archaeological in India, basically it is basically the concept behind the ethno-archaeological survivals and parallels among the hunting and gatherings and their foraging, fishing, pastoral and the present communities including arts and craft producing communities like the Bhimbetka is one of the best example for this particular topic. Okay. And second unit we will definitely discuss in the direct question will ask, it is basically again current and static portions both can merge from this particular topic number 2 of the paper 2 of the anthropology. So the demographic profile of India, ethnic and linguistic elements in the Indian population and their distribution, Indian population's factors influencing its structures and growth. So it is a very good topic for discussion. So every year the question will ask in this particular topic also. The third one, the structures and nature of the traditional Indian social system like Varnashram, Purusharth, Karma, Raina and Rebirth. So it is a very interesting subject also. So it is not only the myth, it is basically the eventually discussion we will discuss in our class. Okay. The 3.2, it is another unit. The caste system in India, it is a very important thing, and definitely in the essay writing you can take some things for your understanding also. So the caste system in India is structures and characteristic, Varna system and caste, theories of origin of the caste system, how it can origin or occur, dominant caste mobility, futures of the caste system, Jasmani system, tribe case, continuum. Okay. Scat complex and the nature's man spirit complex, impact of the Buddhism, Jainism, Islam and Christianity of Indian society, it is relevant for our Indian society. So the emergence of growth and development in India of the their contribution of the 18th, 19th and early 20th century scholar, administrator, contribution of Indian anthropologists to tribal and caste studies. So, after this particular segment, we will able to grasp our ideas from the Indian anthropologists also and the world as same as. At the same time, we will discuss like the various Alvin concept and the different type of anthropologists in our Indian concern. So, we will discuss in various segments. Okay. And another things like the Indian village, significance village study and village cultural and their social system, tradition and changing pattern of the settlement and inter-caste relation, agrarian relations in Indian villages, impact of globalization of Indian villages, linguistic and religious minorities and their social, political and economic status, indigenous of exogenous process of the socio-cultural change in Indian society, Sanskritization, westernization, modernization, it is a very important flap of this particular syllabus. Tribal situation in India, it is very important for this particular tribal development and tribal studies is concerned. Tribal situation, it means what is the current status of the tribal development of our country. So, we will discuss from the Government of India Tribal Department website also. So, the biogenetic variability, linguistic and socio-economic characteristic of the tribal population and their distribution. Problem of the tribal communities, we will definitely discuss. Why? Because they are not the strength, basically their poverty, indebtedness, low literacy, poor educational facilities, unemployment problems, underemployment, health and nutrition. And in the next subtopic, we will discuss developmental projects and their impact of the tribal on tribal displacement and problems of rehabilitations, development of forest policy and tribals. It means Jameen, jungle and Jameen for the tribes. Okay, so the impact of the urbanization and industrialization on tribal population we will discuss in 6.3. And the 7 is the problems of the exploitations and deprivation of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward class, also the constitutional provisions of their constitutional safeguard for the scheduled tribes and the scheduled tribe, especially the 5th schedule and 6th schedule, what the current status of this particular constitutional schedule is concerned, schedule number 5th and 6th accordingly. So, next unit we will discuss social change and contemporary tribal societies. We will discuss the impact of the modern democratic institutions, development programs and welfare measures on tribal and weaker sections or vulnerable groups also. So, definitely we will discuss and the concept of the ethnicity, impact of the Hinduism, tribal and nation state, and the last unit we will definitely discuss history of the administration of tribal areas and tribal policies and role of anthropology in tribal and rural development. And the last subtopic we will cover the contribution of the anthropology to the understanding of religionism and the communalism and the ethnic and political movement. So, guys, we will discuss the relevant topic in our course and definitely the 500 marks will matter for your optional paper. So, thank you, join me, thank you so much.